Listen to this. This is the tape I found downstairs.
Monster kids are the product of the movies they weren't supposed to watch as kids. They're not horrified or offended by the dismemberment of a female ingenue. Monster kids pull the wings off flies and giggle low in the corner. Monster kids like to drink and talk shit. Monster kids will be the bright, new future of a dying world.
So hey, Chris.
Hey, Sam.
So last time we had a podcast, we were just about to go to Houston for the Houston Horror Film Fest.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a little while.
To quote a band.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody out there and all 4 people that are watching this, all of them went at the same time. They went.
And it's been a while.
It's stupid.
so it has been a while.
It's been a while.
Apologize, but take you back to the beginning of August, and we started off this.
God, it was August, right?
It was August, which seems like half a year ago.
Yeah.
But what was cool about this horror convention, and I wish we could do this every time, is unfortunately there's probably not always going to be some banger horror movie open on the same weekend as Houston Horror Film Festival, but the horror gods shined down on us, and we were able to go see a movie. Drove down early that morning and went and saw
Weapons.
Weapons by Zach Krieger. There was a showing, 10:30 a.m. showing.
It's first showing of the day of the new movie.
Yeah, we didn't want anybody, like, everybody has their opinions, and you know that if you don't go see a movie opening weekend, if there's anything to be a spoiler or it's going to be out or you're going to come across it, no matter how hard you try, social media is going to spoil something. So we wanted to just make sure we got to form our own opinion before we heard it from every direction.
Right.
But so, yeah, we got to the theater, ordered our 10:30 a.m. beers.
There's not a better beer.
There's not. On a Friday, we were off. I mean, don't judge me.
Yeah.
But Weapons, from the minute the George Harrison song came on at the beginning of the credits, like, we both kind of looked at each other and like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
This is gonna be something special.
Every other kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, opened the front door, walked across the front yard and into the dark, and they never came back.
Watch out now. Take up your word for swingers.
I have to go back to you recommending me to watch Barbarian a couple of years ago because I didn't know who Zach Krieger was. Didn't know what Barbarian was. Thought I knew what it was when Bill Skarsgård opens the door at the beginning, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I know where this is going.
Right.
And Zach Krieger's like, the fuck you do?
Yeah. You don't have any idea.
No, he's like, let me show you how to tell a story.
Yeah.
So once I fell in love with Barbarian, this is not about Barbarian, but Weapons was going to get a free pass. Like, I'm going, but it's also like, entertain me.
Right.
You know,
right.
And again, from the beginning, when the children are exiting their homes and the perfect music selection, what a cool way to start a movie. And then the storytelling, like I alluded to, was because it's done in chapters. And so almost like every character has their own chapter, but it's also told every time you see another, and again, I guess we can talk about spoilers because it's been out long enough, but every chapter advances the story a little bit further, and you're seeing a different point of view from a different character. But what a unique way to tell the story, you know?
Those are all good points, and it's I recently watched it again with my wife, and before the movie started, I was like, I explained that to her because it took me a couple of times watching it to really like grasp that, and I wanted her to go into it kind of knowing that that's what she was going to be seeing, because she's not a horror fan. I mean, just for me to get her to sit down and watch it was a big thing.
Big deal.
But I mean, just the way the story is told, and you talked about the the opening scene when the kids are running out of the house and those sweeping shots of the kids running into that, into that dark, oh man. And then the music, like you said, it seriously gave me chills, I mean, to me, that's a good sign of art. When something I see makes me have that kind of a physical reaction,
Yeah, definitely.
So I knew that I was in for it.
Yeah. And like I talked about the storytelling, a lot of people that I've heard him say, they're like, oh, just like Pulp Fiction. And I'm like, well, it's not just like Pulp Fiction, because non-sequential storytelling is not copyrighted by anyone, but where Pulp Fiction jumps around from the beginning to the end, to the front, to the back, it feels like Weapons is always progressing.
Yes.
And each time you get a little bit more, and you have some overlap, but I think you described it once when we were talking about it as, rewind, but now the camera's following somebody else.
Yeah.
And so you're going to pick up something that you didn't see when you come from a different angle. And by the time, and it probably took me the second or third chapter, we'll call it, because each character gets their own kind of title card, but I felt slow to figure out. So I understand about explaining to someone, hey, this isn't going to ruin it for you. It's just going to save you a little bit of time. And that if you think you're seeing the same thing, if you're having this deja vu, it's totally intentional.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing about, like Pulp Fiction, the way Quentin Tarantino told that story, it wasn't like they went back and replayed the same scene for different points of view.
Mm-hmm.
They went back and they showed where those characters intersected.
Yeah.
And they may have backtracked a little bit and moved forward, but
very different.
But it was a very different way of doing it.
Yeah.
And, I thought it was brilliant. So that great cast with Josh Brolin and Julia Garner. I mean, I love them both anyway. So,
yeah.
I'm going to see it.
Yeah. I'm there for it. And again, the way they're like, you're introduced, you're just dropped into this world other than, the kids left. And then they're like the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then what better character to have, opposite of the teacher as the angry parent. And then, like you said, it was Josh Brolin. And then, then they're like, well, who else are some of these other characters? Well, there's a police officer, and who was Han Solo in the Solo movie, which is not a good movie for Star Wars people, but cool that I didn't recognize him until way later. So then you have a cop. Well, what's the opposite of a cop? You have a junkie. Like, and you have the teacher's boss, like the principal, and it's just the way they chose to follow these people. And again, the cinematography and the storytelling, like you don't know where this is even going at first. And that's just what I love. It's so original, so entertaining for me. Like, again, I know there's people that don't like it, and that's fine. But for me, this is what it takes to hold my attention.
Right.
And well done to Zach Krager. And he did something right, because it sounds like they're doing a sequel, like a prequel to Aunt Gladys's backstory. But I like how you kind of coined a phrase for us, or you alluded to like when a scene, like we have something much better than jump the shark, and jump the shark is always kind of like a negative annotation, like, oh, this movie's given up, they've jumped the shark. But the opposite of that, when something cool or interesting or creative or what the fuck just happened happens, we kind of coined, what was it? I'll let you refresh my memory.
It was the it's when a movie or whatever you're watching takes a completely different turn, like goes the opposite direction of where you think. So we're gonna call it the fork.
Yeah,
the fork scene.
Fork, yeah.
Know?
Didn't see that coming.
No, and I mean when that happened, that movie just flipped to me. Like I was already interested and intrigued by it, but when that happened, man, I was just like, what?
It kind of slipped a gear. Like
yeah.
I was telling you about a different movie that we'll talk about a different time. How I was telling you this other movie I watched recently. It slipped a gear, but in a good way, and that's what I feel like that fork scene. They slipped a gear. Like I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
and they just fast forward really cool.
I mean, from the visual part of it, and then also the audible part of it,
the sound design and that, because you can close your eyes all you want, but you can't muffle your ears enough to not hear whatever. It sounded like they were just jabbing a fork into like a watermelon rind or something that sounded very much like a cheek.
Yeah, it was so perfect.
It was perfect. Yeah, so
it was love at first stab.
It was
For
love
real,
at first
man.
stab. enough to the point of where they were giving out cheese grater promos. So I thought that was pretty cool. But a little shameless plug for the giveaways. How cool to, I don't know if that's actually sharp enough to cut cheese or cheek, but I'm not going to find out.
No.
So, but yeah, weapons, what a hell of a way to start a horror convention, because then that way we are ready if we're standing in line and someone's like, did you know that Aunt Gladys blah 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 blah?
Right.
I'm like, shut up. So,
and before we completely move on, Chris, I want to talk just a little bit about watch the movie and then give it a few days and then maybe a couple of weeks or whatever, and then watch it again, because you pick up on all those little, like I didn't realize how much Aunt Gladys was in the movie before we even knew the hell Aunt Gladys was.
Yeah, the second time you watch it, or like you said, and when I was watching it, like there's jump scares and things that are early on, and I didn't know it was her because it was so quick and so perfectly timed the first time that you do have to go back and you're like, there she is. Sometimes it's just the very edge of the frame.
Just a little curl.
Little windsuit.
I cannot wait to, I know that you've probably seen them already, but I cannot wait to get to the next convention and see all the Gladyses everywhere.
I want all the Gladyses. Every interpretation, the highly accurate to the slightly sexy.
Yeah. Boy, it's all about them bangs.
It is. The bangs are banging on the Aunt Gladys cosplay. Love it. I hope, and with the announcement of the prequel movie for Aunt Gladys, I hope that'll give that cosplay some real legs and see what people will do with it. But
and keep in mind too, guys, this is not a review of that movie. We just liked the movie and wanted to talk about it. But it is not a review.
No, it's not a review. We don't really review movies on this. If you haven't figured that out by yet, we just tell you all the stuff we love about it. So form your own opinion from there. But for us, like I will say, wildly refreshing as far as modern horror. It's not like going back to the well. It's not some tired crab walk, spider walk, quick cuts. Like it's all been done before. Like we get it.
Or another remake.
Yeah, or another remake of a remake of a remake. So yeah, Weapons, Zach Krieger doing all the good with the creepy storytelling, and what a fucking great way to start off a horror convention. So as far as the convention, Houston Horror, it was a great show as always. We loved that venue. Probably the highlight for me was getting to meet Caroline Williams. She had an awesome photo op with chainsaw. She was dressed as Stretch. So the second they announced that, I was like, I'll be having that. Yeah. And also got to meet her at her table. We talked about Whataburger. And so she's from Houston. So it's cool to see her come back, even though she lives in LA now. And try to meet Caroline Williams anytime I can, just because Texas Chainsaw 2 is as silly as a movie as it is, and as far removed from the original as it is, it still holds a special place in my heart.
Yo, it's 8:11 Texas time on a Friday night. I know nobody's listening because y'all are all zooming, but I got a shot of hot rock and roll for you anyway.
Playing off the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Policeman Bob costumes, and Allie came down, and they were Stretch and probably the best. It was the best chop top costume I've ever seen.
Ever.
Like down to the strands of hair. Like
most people phone that in.
Yeah, they phone it in and put on a fright wig or something. But Bobby Harris is not known to phone something in.
Dude was committed to that.
Yeah,
so good.
So cool. And I was even about 3 or 4 people in front of Bobby and Allie as they were going in to get their photo op with Caroline, and it was just so crazy to see everyone's reactions because they were hauling around a trick or treat Nubbins corpse that Bobby, he's not going to just buy it from Trick or Treat and carry it around. He's going to buy it from Trick or Treat and he's going to rehaul it
modifications
to make it look way more like the movie. So anytime Bobby is committed to a cosplay, and the fact that it was on brand with the reunion of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 at Houston Horror, because they had Bill Johnson there as well. So you could even get like a 3-person photo op with the cast. And that was a highlight for me.
Hop in the wagon, man. Yeah.
Another highlight, probably the first thing we did, and we were on a mission. We knew we were going to beeline to Rotten Apple Head Designs to pick up some artwork from Bobby and Christina. Yeah. So I went with Elvira, and what did you pick up?
I got the new pearl that they put out. I couldn't resist.
I think he maybe brought 3 pearls. And I think you got the second one. You got the first or the second one?
I think I got the first one because like, you remember like we hauled ass in there. Like that's one of the
Yes.
first things we did. And like they didn't even have anybody
Oh,
at
it
the
had to be
table
the
yet.
first. Yeah, it was the first one.
I mean,
And,
people were just getting their bearings, and we're like, "Get the fuck out!" You know?
I gotta get Pearl.
Yeah.
So that was super cool to see Bobby and Christina and get some artwork from them and take it up to our room so we could not have to carry that around all weekend. But yeah,
I could have gone home after that. I
Me
just
too.
love mine so much, and
Yeah.
I'll pop a picture in here for you to
Yes.
see it. But I just love mine so much, and that would have been, I would have been satisfied.
it's so good, and there's so many great pieces that he's done, and he's getting more and more elaborate and intricate with his stencils. Like when we first met them at Days of the Dead Houston several years ago, and Christina was kind enough to talk to us and tell us a little bit about Bobby's process. She featured like a child's play that, it was very detailed, and I feel like that it may have had. I feel like she's something like 30 stencils, or it was out of control. But now everything Bobby does is on line with those. Like you can tell some of the earlier ones, which are still super amazing. I don't say that with any kind of like they're not as good. It's just he's getting crazy details with his artwork. So if there's a pop culture, and not just horror, like they do pop culture when they go to Comic Cons, they tend to bring more of like, their superhero stuff or whoever. They pay attention. Some of my favorite vendors, they like Mark with Disco Bloodbath or Jennifer Cakes by Jennifer. Like they always curate what they're bringing to feature the guests that are going to be at the show. And one, that's just smart business. But two, that shows the dedication, of them as fans and to take their creativity and sell stuff that's on brand with the people that are going to be at the convention. It's just smart business, but it shows you that they really love the genre as well.
I mean, just think about how much time he devotes to it, or how much the both of them devote to it. I mean, because they're both at every show. Every time I've ever been, they're both there, and it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And just like to be creating these and still have time to do this. I mean, because this is not something you just do over a weekend.
No.
These are incredibly detailed. I don't think people can understand it until you really get one close and look at it. Like
I would like to just see his pet. Like I'm not asking for how it's made because I think he should keep a lot of that under wraps. Right. But I just want to see his paint inventory.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I bet it's incredible. Yeah,
between spray cans and acrylic and how he details and designs these things. I mean, he's obviously got a vision that he can take a look at something and just recreate it. Yeah. So yeah, Rotten Apple Head designs. Check them out. They're amazing. So one of our favorite vendors for sure.
One of my favorite things about this particular show is that we got there, we got the things done that we wanted to get done, and then we were able to relax the rest of the weekend and kind of get to hang out and talk with people and like just enjoy it all, and not feel like we're just constantly running around trying to get footage or material for a video, so I felt very relaxed at this one. And I've told you before, Houston is like home to me. Like that convention feels to me more homey than the rest of them that I've been to. Like it feels more like a closer, I guess because it is smaller, but still I get a more of a, hey, come on in.
Yeah. Everybody's welcome at that one, and everybody's friends. Like you could strike up a conversation with anyone there, compliment them on their shirt, or just ask them who they're here to see, and you may end up with a new friend by the weekend. But I mean, just everybody's so cool and so nice, and Tony and Scott and Justin like have the formula down, and they just keep bringing more and more guests. And I love that venue because it is so centrally located, and we can just post up, at the bar and just hang out and catch people as they come by and just talk to them.
Right.
We saw a lot of our vendor friends and celebrities too, all the time.
I mean, we had breakfast right next to Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, and Bill Mosley.
And just at the same table together.
Yeah, and we were wondering who picked up the check.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a good show, and I can't recommend Houston Horror Film Festival enough. Like I said, we got our celebrity, like you said, we got the order of business out of the way, so we could just relax. And if we got some cool footage, we did, and if we didn't, we didn't. But we did. We got some really cool cosplayers, and we got Svetka Toxic up close and personal. She's always one of our favorites, and she
We've always watched her from afar and we've been too intimidated to get close.
A little too scared to get close, but it turns out she's really super cool and friendly and just really good at what she does.
Friendly is the word.
Yeah, it may not be friendly, but if you want to get creeped out, go get you some Svedka Toxic.
Right. I did notice that there was a mom and a daughter, this pretty young daughter, walking through, and the daughter obviously wanted to get her photo made. And like she could see her turn off that crazy. She turned it off while the kid was walking up to her, and she was kind of smiley and inviting. And as soon as the kid turned her back to her, she went right back into character. It was fucking insane.
It was. And props to that little kid for not being scared too.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I mean, like, seriously, if she had walked up to me outside at night, you would be a little apprehensive about engaging.
So I think they're associated with Creepy Hollow. So like Sam Hain one and Svedka Toxic.
Yeah.
Go check them out and go promote all the haunts in Houston, all the haunts in Texas. But
that's they commit.
Big time.
Like that one little scene where, like I said, where she was just trying to keep that kid from totally freaking the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the time, man, she is just like, you never see her out of character. And that's so wild to think about somebody coming in. What's their I would love to have them on sometime, just like see what their process is.
Absolutely. And how they got into it. You know, what started it? When did you start? I love to see where it started and how far it's come. And people that are that creative and committed and,
because her character, she's not cosplaying anybody. You know what I mean? She's
that's harder to do. Like it's. I don't want to say easy because you can get super detailed, but to come up with something that's just original and it's not Jason or it's not Freddy, and I love those. Those are my favorite. But how hard for you to come up with something just original that is so tricked out and fucked up and crazy cool, but that's what they've done. So
I don't know how they do it, man, and how they ever do you turn it off?
I don't know.
How do you turn that shit off?
Yeah, because even we would see them, they'd see a friend across the room and they was still like kind of crazy.
Yeah, she'd be like halfway crawling and running at the same time to go see him. I mean, it's just out of this world. I don't
want to give away any trade secrets, but I saw her like retouching up, some of the goop and stuff on her. It's just cool that's commitment is I think what it comes to. But yeah, Houston Horror Film Festival, always a good show. Already got our room booked. Can't wait for August.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I think that's probably it for convention talk, other than we've secured a room for Frightmare. So super excited about that. We know it's going to be a good time.
Boy, I was so afraid that was going to sell out.
I know.
And I had laptop, phone, desktop, iPad, everything.
And we didn't coordinate. We did not coordinate, but I was halfway across the country.
I was going to say, you were in another.
I was in a different time zone, also doing the same thing. And so when you texted me and let me know you got a room, I was happy to know, okay, then we both did, which was rare. I was having issues on my end, and I was like, this is the year it doesn't happen. And there's lots of good hotels to stay at around Frightmare, but there's something about the Westin. One, it's the closest. Two, it's just where all the celebrities are. Yeah. Like, you get so much interaction. And even if you can't stay at the Westin, come hang out at the Westin. Go have dinner at Mesa Mescal, or, grab a coffee and just hang out in the lobby.
Or a tequila.
Or 2 tequilas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so conventions, there's going to be a lot more in 2026. We're not even sure what we're going to do yet, but I think that's kind of it for convention.
I'm hoping that I get to tag along with more of them.
I hope so too.
Gonna kind of try to work it into other stuff going on. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So a few episodes ago, we touched on 28 Years Later. Danny Boyle. I finally got around to seeing it again. Another stellar recommendation by you.
I don't miss.
I know you don't. No, I'm just kidding. You got that right. Yeah. So. I mean, it was Danny Boyle, so automatically I'm like, it's Train Spotting. I've got to give this a watch. And I guess I didn't realize until afterwards, just because I'm not as well versed, but the original 28 Days was shot like on a video camera, or one of the first video cameras. Yeah, it was one of the
very first digital cinema cameras out there. I don't remember the actual model number. Right. I believe it was a Canon. But it was one of the very first digital cinema.
So right there, it's already like
almost a camcorder.
Yeah, trend-setting, groundbreaking to take this like not even familiar with this. The technology is so new, but happy accident or not, the grain.
Yeah.
And we always talk about the grain and the, like, it almost looks like somebody was just surviving in that world and was recording what was going on. And that puts you right in the movie. But not to talk about the original, other than they were cutting edge at the time with that digital camera, one of the first ones that came out to be able to achieve what they were doing. And then now you cut to the more recent one and they're using iPhones, which is
and like 20 of them lined up in a row.
Yeah,
all
in
at
a
one
row.
time.
If you see that shot, you had sent me that shot of the zombie with the rig around it. I call it the kill rig. I don't, because every time, and I thought that was for one shot. Never see it again. I was like, I can't wait until I see the shot. Well, that's why I'm calling it the kill cam.
Yeah.
Like, it's about 15 or 20 iPhones in a semicircle, and you get this. I mean, fuck the Matrix. Like, people keep comparing it to the Matrix, and I'm like, this makes the Matrix look stupid. Like, it's so.
We love the Matrix.
We do love the Matrix. Yeah, we do love the Matrix. Red, Blue, Lawrence Fishburne. We love it, but that technology, like how groundbreaking that scene was when Neo is like slow motion dodging the bullets. Well, that's all grown up.
Yeah,
and so
it's all grown up.
So now with and you know, they say they filmed it on an iPhone. Well, they weren't just, you know, going like this. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars of lenses and gear and stuff hooked to it, but still technically the iPhone's doing the processing power. And I love that. I love Danny Boyle. But yeah, the kill cam, or I keep calling it the kill cam.
That's okay.
But you see those different ways that I thought it was going to be a one and done, and it wasn't. And they were using the iPhone in like new creative ways that just shows you how cool, like you're not limited to, we got to use the $50,000 camera. You know, you can use the $1,000 camera with $50,000 worth of lenses on it too.
Well, I have to say, you know, in you know, it's like in response to that, I heard a long time ago, and I'm not sure which photographer it was that said it, but you know, I've been in the photography business for a long time, and they always say that the best camera is the one that you have.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So again, like you said in the beginning, the very first, the 28 days later, that it was very run and gun, and now they're able to do that because they have that smaller digital camera.
Yeah.
And so you feel like you're in the action instead of just watching it. Right. And I feel like that was kind of the same way. Like they brought that same feeling into 28 years later to me. You know, the iPhone thing is really cool. I love seeing the production shots, the production stills of it. Great. I mean, who sat there and like programmed and got all that stuff to gel, to work, you know? To even work. How many times did they have to practice that before they got the shot that actually worked? Yeah. And you know how like as you know, we are videographers by trade, how nervous you feel with one camera. You know, am I getting the shot, or did I remember to press record or whatever? Not that that's ever happened on this podcast ever. Like 20 minutes ago. Every time. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, just saying, like to have the guts to try something like that is pretty amazing. It's so cool. And I heard I was watching some reviews after I watched the movie. I tend to go to my same 3 or 4 people just to get their thoughts. I disagree with him a lot. Like Dr. Wolfula, love him, fucking hilarious. I'm about 50-50 on him just because he's hypercritical. Yeah. But anyway, I go and I watch these reviews of my same like tried and true people that I feel like I gel with their opinion a little bit. And he had some really good things to say. But one content creator described Danny Boyle or whoever the editor was as a hyperactive edits, and I think that's a pretty good explanation for it. It makes sense to me to call a lot of those quick, fast, aggressive edits as hyperactive editing, and some people were saying how sometimes that can be used to cover a flaw, or which I thought was interesting take, but that's not what's happening here. That's just to show you that these zombies mean business, or zombie, what plague. And I know it, like infected. Some people are like infected. Yeah. People are like, it's not a zombie, but that's just my like kind of umbrella way to describe the infected. And I like that there were different levels of infected. Like you got like the slow fat one, and then you've got like the
the alpha zombies or whatever they called them. And another thing we kind of touched on when we were just talking to each other after I finally watched it was the Army March, you know, and I think they used it in the trailer too, but the
very
Kipling,
first trailer,
yeah, and it's so like haunting and like puts you in the mood, and when you see like the geography and you start learning how, okay, you can go into the mainland, but the weight, you know, the water lowers and you got to come back before, or you're stuck the whole, like, what a cool environment to set an intense, like, it doesn't even have to be horror. It's almost could be suspense. I mean, it's horror because the vulgar, I mean, the violent, like, it's some aggressive stuff, but it's like, I hate to just say, oh, it's just a horror movie. Like, it's not just like, it's a suspense too. Like, it's a really good way to tell the story. And I like how you had mentioned before I had seen it, and you just touched on it, like your hot take after just seeing it, no spoilers, but you said, if you know, this is not 28 Days Later, like it's related, but there's a lot more going on. And it almost seems like this movie is setting up for something bigger. Like, I felt like that at the end. And I think after obviously watching, that's what's happening. But wow.
Yeah. And I do want to like maybe further explain that what did you call aggressive editing?
Yeah, hyperactive editing, or I think they called it hyperactive editing, but it's amazing to me.
So just like for reference, like when you say that, you're talking about those scenes where everything in the scene is moving.
And
like,
your
you know,
eyes
how, like
can't
there's
keep
maybe
up.
some action in 1/3 of it, but this is still like everything.
And
Something's
then there may be a
every square
flashback
inch,
or something gets dropped in where you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Is
You
that
just
happening
see
now?
elbows and feet, and you know, just
good luck trying to keep up with
Yeah.
how fast it's going. I would love to see the timeline of all those quick edits, but I just
Can't
love
imagine
stuff
it.
like that.
It makes me a little bit nauseous
Me
to think about.
It's like, how did that play out so perfectly?
Yeah. Anyway, we both love that movie. Looking forward to the next installment.
Cannot wait.
I hope they carry it on and it continues to like elevate and not peter off and
Yeah.
you know, hitting the dumper like a lot of times they do. You know,
Shit the bed.
Yeah, shit the bed.
But it feels like they're setting this up for something really big.
Yeah.
Like they've got this pretty well road mapped out, and I'm here for it.
Right. Well, you were talking about me suggesting that you watch those movies, and then recently you suggested, hey, have you watched Monster, the Ed Gein story? And I had not. I was holding off. Wasn't sure that I was going to watch it, but I did, and man, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's Ryan Murphy, so it's going to be like hyper polished. Not to keep using the word hyper. It's going to be really beautiful.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
the scenery, everything is the acting. It's all, and Charlie Hunnam, like we love Jax from Sons of Anarchy, but I went into the Ed Gein. Like, we also walk a fine line with creative horror make believe and serial killers.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go
real life stuff.
Yeah, we'll go true crime, but we're not parading around with Gacy flags and stuff like that. Like, there's a point where for us, as we've had discussions before, it's like, okay, but like we stop it. Like, we're not celebrating any of this that really happened, but you don't get the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs and Psycho supposedly without the Butcher of Plainsfield. So Ed Gein in Wisconsin, being fucking weird, you know, turned into these movies that we love. So watched a lot of stuff on Ed Gein, and I think one thing I was telling you is, like, you gotta watch it. There's a lot I have not problems with it, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't really like about it. But it doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
No.
I still said watch it. You know, I'm glad that like for Charlie Hunnam, just for so people will stop saying, oh, it's just Jax, because this is the furthest away from Jax.
Yeah.
Weird, creepy voice. I don't think from, like, I've listened to like Jailhouse interviews on Ed Gein and watched some stuff. I mean, more than a little bit. Some of the older movies. I think there's even an Ed Harris movie, and there's many movies you can watch on Ed Gein. And I mean, Ryan Murphy, like, people are like, oh, he took it and like made it more than what it was. Well, welcome to Ryan Murphy. Like that's what he does. Like,
I mean, he polishes.
yeah, he polished it. It's got to be interesting. If you want to watch like the real story of Ed Gein, there's 40-minute documentaries that'll tell you everything you
black
need to
and
know.
white, grainy ass.
Black and you've got to have these things in the story. So I mean, I tried not to get hung up on, well, that didn't happen, that didn't happen, that didn't happen. It's still beautifully told, but I think the reason I told you had to watch it was when they do start like weaving into almost out of nowhere. They're like, all of a sudden you're on the set of Chainsaw. Like you think you're in Chainsaw. Like it was so well recreated, and then they yell cut, and the camera pulls away, and I'm getting fucking chills.
That was so good.
Why? I was like, just watch it for this. Like when they talk about Hitchcock and Toby Hooper and Silence of the Lambs, like for me, that's why I was watching the movie, and there's a lot of stuff where it's like he was not pulling some hot girl and whatever, but it's got, you got to advance.
You don't know.
Yeah, shit, maybe he was, man, with a voice like that. Yeah. But to me, I think I've told you too, the Alfred Hitchcock, when he's sitting in the theater with his wife or girlfriend or whoever, and the whole crowd is going banana town, and he looks over and he's like, now I can do whatever I want. He's like, hell yeah, I figured it out. And then it cuts to either a day later, the same night, a few days later, and he's all worried, and he says, go ahead and tell me, say it to me. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he said something like, I brought this on myself. He's like, they're never, and this is such a like comment, like this is the Ryan Murphy that I like big comment on society. He's like, now like they won't accept nothing less than this. He did Psycho, and it's like, okay, what else?
You gotta
that was good,
ramp it up,
but it can never be lower. You've just raised the bar. And I feel like with horror and entertainment in general and anything, it's like, are you not entertained? It just keeps raising the bar. So he kind of put himself into still a creative genius, but that's for me watching Monster. And again, I could tell you the stuff I didn't like about it, but I'm not going to, because you can find that shit anywhere. Right. Like I don't care what you didn't like about anything. Like I want to hear what you loved about it. So I love the Chainsaw Massacre tie-ins and the fact. I mean, some of these people, the casting that they got for some of these people, and just how cool would it have been to be on that set? In between the scenes that ended up making it to the screen. I want all I can know about any of that. Right. So when we go to a convention and we talk to William Vale or Terry McMinn, or anyone like Ed Neal, like just like tell us anything. Yeah. Like I want to know anything you can remember. Like I want to download your brain.
If it's a little small memory.
Yeah, I want the smallest memory that didn't have anything to do with something that made it on screen. Yeah. Like just please tell that story. And I know celebrities get tired of telling the same story over and over and over, but somewhere someone has never heard that. And so, and I think a lot of celebrities are pretty good about that. Right. They realize, there's some that realize these people are paying my rent. So yeah, I'm going to answer the same question. Right. And then other people are like, fuck you. Right. Whatever. You know, I mean, that's just how people are.
That's one thing about the cast of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is they're professional convention celebrities. Yeah. So they know, like you can go up and there's like your pal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool that they're, able to be like that.
I think so too.
The thing that I like about it, and I feel kind of stupid because I didn't research this before, but the actor that played Toby Hooper.
Oh yeah.
The monologue he gives, in the house before they're, getting ready. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So to me, that was like one of the best parts of the movie was that whole ass monologue, and he kind of gives like you said, this is what society is, and this is what they want, and this is what I want to do, kind of thing. And it just, I don't know, that was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome. And I've read interviews with Toby Hooper explaining about how he was in line at Sears, not Montgomery Ward's, like the show says. But anyway, like I've read that story. I've seen him talk about it. I've seen videos of him explaining standing in the Sears, and I've read multiple articles standing in Sears, getting impatient, seeing a chainsaw display and wishing he could just rip through the line to just get his stupid Christmas gift and get over it. Well, I've heard and read, and I love that story so much, but to see it play out and to go Ryan Murphy, like gallons of blood violence with the chainsaw in the store, I was like, that's pretty cool too. You know, I mean,
to be honest, Chris, I wouldn't hate it if somebody did a really good version of a movie, like a full ass real movie, not a documentary, but like a well done, well researched movie about the making of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And their characters.
Yes,
all the
their
people
characters.
are characters.
Those little
in the
bits
movie.
that we got, it's almost like, is Ryan Murphy going to do something like that?
Yeah.
Because I'd be all on, I'd be up for it.
Yeah.
I would be into that shit.
Oh yeah.
But I wish somebody would do that because it would be a great film. I mean, something
and it
great to watch.
shows you that because Ryan Murphy did it, like there's been so many chainsaw movies that have been made and that don't make the mark and don't meet the mark, and because of Tobe Hooper and what he created, well, Ryan Murphy just showed everyone that can be recreated. The look, the feel, the smells, like that was the family house.
Right.
And nothing has even come close. Like you can put a leather bag on somebody's face and rev a chainsaw and cut a pig or whatever, but that doesn't make it Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like it has to be that feel, and I think you have to be borderline obsessed or have that much love to get it that close. Like we talk about all the Leatherface masks we see, but then we see something like Ryan Strickland makes something, you're like, that's it. Like that's a mask, and that's like straight off the fucking
That
movie.
was in Bubba's closet.
Yeah,
You
that
just
was
didn't see
one
that
he
in the
made.
movie.
Yeah, that was one that he made that you never saw because you died.
Yeah, exactly.
You got hit over the head.
Right.
But yeah, you see those levels of things, and there's people, and it takes like a great love for the subject matter to like forget it's about chainsaw. If you're making something about some other movie, whatever, like if you love it so much, it's gonna come out in your finished product.
Yeah.
So
And it did in that.
absolutely.
And another thing I like about that, when we keep going back to just that particular part of the show, but when you're immersed in the movie, like you're in that scene, and it's almost like, frame for frame, and then all of a sudden they yell cut, and then it backs out like you were talking about, and then all of a sudden you're jerked out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like night and day. Like I felt like physically moved when that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. It sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. It's like you're so involved and like paying attention, and all of a sudden that cut, and you're like, oh,
Yeah. You're like, it's everybody breathe. Like we're gonna do it again.
It's not really happening.
No, yeah, we're all safe.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be okay.
Right.
But yeah, it was just so good. And again, to be in, like, I want all that in between the cuts, in between when the camera wasn't rolling. Like, let's do it again. Or, you hear things about, look what your brother did to the door. And when he finally gets to the door and Daniel Pearl's on the floor and he does that weird little dance because he's trying not to step on Daniel Pearl. And like you hear these little stories, but it's like, I want to hear the ones that are even lesser known.
Right.
So.
Well, once again, Chris, we have turned this into a Texas Chainsaw discussion.
Imagine that.
So we should just start calling this, instead of Laser Wagon, we should call it Texas. Sam and Chris talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Sam and Chris relate everything to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or else.
Yeah. I mean, day to day.
Day to day, we really do. I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah.
everything can be related back to 1973 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So anyway, that's our thoughts on Monster, Ed Gein's story. Worth the watch.
Definitely worth the
feel like,
watch. Don't go into it looking for historically accurate 1000% whatever. Like, if you want to know more like historical Ed Gein, go look up prison interviews and go watch the Ed Harris movie. Are really pretty disturbing. Like you could go watch that if you just want to get the real weird, gross. I would say just go watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it does not disappoint.
So I have one more thing I want to add to that. And I know we talked about like not being into like, serial killers and like true crime being like,
there's a fine line.
There's a fine line there. I don't want anybody to think that I'm being judgy. Do what you want to do.
Right.
But you said earlier about if you didn't have Ed Gein, then you wouldn't have Chainsaw. And I was just thinking while you said that, I was like, what if Ed Gein got up one day and he's like having those thoughts of doing all the things that he did, and he's like, you know what? I think I'll just get a dog.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be all grave robbing and noses in a cup.
But if noses in a cup, nipple belts. Hey, dude, but seriously though, if that hadn't happened, like we probably wouldn't even be sitting here.
No, we probably hate
like
each
think
other.
about that one little decision changed.
We're not friends.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
thanks,
true,
Ed
though.
Gein.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for being weird as shit.
Oh, God damn it, I snorted.
But no, that's a good point.
Duh.
I mean, huzzah.
It's fucking wild as shit to think
true.
about, but it's that little thing.
One person talks himself out of a little necrophilia. And who knows?
He's like, you know,
friendships are made.
I'm just going to get a dog.
Yeah.
So, Chris, there's some conventions coming up.
Yeah, it's kind of the end of convention season for me. I don't know if convention season ever actually ends, but usually October kind of ramps up. It's like the big finish. So Houston Horror is going to have a pop-up right before Halloween, kind of a Houston haunted holiday market, so to speak. So I'm going to go down at least for one day for that to support Justin Tony Scott. And then we're going to I'm running to Orlando. This is a huge bucket list. Spooky Empire. I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome. Got to mark Spooky Empire off the list. Orlando, Florida on Halloween. I can't think of a better way. This is the first time I haven't spent Halloween at my house in a long time. The daughter is not really into it anymore. So, yeah, Spooky Empire in Orlando, huge bucket list convention. I can't wait to see what all that holds. And then I want to go support my friends with Oklahoma Horror up in Tulsa. After that, Tulsa is going to have their own. It's called the Tulsa Horror Con, and it's kind of an offshoot of OKC Horror. So it's same organizers, a little bit further away, a little bit smaller show, but it's expanding. And I just want everyone in Texas, all the Texas horror fans, to understand that Oklahoma Horror is doing something special up there. Like, I've been to OKC Horror twice now, and I want to go every year. Like, it's growing. From every year I go, it grows a little bit more. And so when I heard that Tulsa was trying to, branch out a little bit, you can never have too many horror conventions in one state. I don't care how big or small you are. So yeah, that's what's on my radar, and hope to report back on those shows before the end of the year for sure. And then we can start looking into 26 and see what that's going to hold for us.
Well, I hope 26 is as good as 25 has been.
I think it will.
I feel like there's been a lot going on. A lot of good things have happened in 25.
Yeah.
A lot of great movie releases. I got a lot of good, positive experiences at horror conventions and the whole thing. So
we've made some new connections, some new friends. Hope to just continue to promote all our favorite cosplayers and vendors, because that's what it's about when it all comes down to it. Is it's just everybody else is talking about their love of horror, so why can't we? Why not us?
Why not us?
Yeah. So if there's ever something I drink to, I drink to that.
I'll drink to that. Cheers, brother.
Monster kids make pretty pictures of ugly things and write pretty words about awful sing-song discordant notes and vomit when they drink too much.